أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Youth Forum with me, the host, SYED WAFIQ ABIDI. Alongside me are the two usual guests, just like last week, Sayyid Zekham Ali Shan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
And Sayyid Ja'far Al Hashimi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today's topic is about Ma'asuma Qum, but before we do, Brother Ja'far is going to do the Quran Tilawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. MashaAllah, very beautifully recited there by Brother Ja'far. And while we're at you, Brother Ja'far, can you please give us the brief life about the topic today, which is Ma'asuma Qum.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
First of all, I got feedback that a lot of people, not from the Islamic religion, that are watching our program, so I'll give a very basic introduction. So, Ma'asuma Qum is today's topic. So, Ma'asuma Qum is Fatima, and she's a sister of Ali al-Rida alayhi salam. Ali al-Rida is the son of Musa al-Kalam alayhi salam, son of Ja'far, descendants of the Prophet. Her shrine is in Iran, in Qum, hence the name. She was 26 years old, and she was born in Medina, and she's infallible. We said bint Musa ibn Ja'far, and she's the auntie of Imam Jawad alayhi salam. She was also known as al-Muhaddatha, which is the angels used to communicate with her, and al-Abida, also known as the worshipper. So that's basic information about Ma'asuma Qum.
MashaAllah, yeah. And obviously, Ja'far, you yourself personally have never been to Iran to do the ziyarah of Ma'asuma Qum. MashaAllah, me and Brother Zekham have been. The last time I've been was in last year, the start of 2014.
Yeah.
And MashaAllah, the experience there was overwhelming, especially for me as a youth, because obviously when you go there as an adult, there's a different feeling to when you go there as a youngster.
Much more understandable.
Yeah, it's more understandable, because when you're young, you're like, it's all new to you, the ziyarah and what you have to do, the different kind of namazes. And I remember a story. I was walking, and there were people in the shrine, and what they were doing is they were praying.
Yeah.
But they were praying in a way that they were praying and they were crying at the same time, and it wasn't like an occasion that you have to cry, but you see all these little children that they're crying, and they're asking for their prayers to be accepted by Ma'asuma Qum, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Ma'asuma Qum.
Yeah.
And I was just overwhelmed that these people are so religious in a way, and they've been brought up in a country that supports the religion of Islam, and
a lot of blessings from Ma'asuma Qum,
and the blessings of Ma'asuma Qum. And then I understood the importance of visiting the shrines, and obviously I went to Mashhad as well, to Imam Raza, as you said, the brother of Ma'asuma Qum, which we'll get onto soon. But Zekham, what is the merits and the importance about the ziyarah of Ma'asuma Qum?
Visiting the shrine of Ma'asuma Qum, salamullahi alayhi, is as though you are visiting the grave of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, salawatullahi alayhi, because there was a man who would pray for 40 days in a row because he desired to visit the grave of Lady Fatima al-Zahra. But we all know the grave of Lady Fatima al-Zahra is hidden, is unknown, and because of this he wanted to visit this noble personality. They say the Karimat of Ahlul Bayt, which means the noble one of the family of the Prophet. And Imam Baqir or Imam Sadiq gave this title to Lady Ma'asuma Qum. And this is how it happened, that the man prayed for 40 days. He kept supplicating, doing dua, just like you said, crying and asking. And on the 40th night, after he finished his prayer, he went to sleep. And in his dream, he either met Imam Baqir or Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and visited their grave. But we all know both of their graves in Jannatul Baqi. Inshallah, Allah will grant us a visit to Jannatul Baqi.
Inshallah.
And when he was stood there, he saw the Imam, and the Imam said, I advise you to go to the Karimat of the Ahlul Bayt. Now he replied, obviously saying, yes, this is what I want. He was thinking Karimat of Ahlul Bayt is the Lady Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayhi. Yes, this is what I want. I've been praying for 40 days. Please tell me the position so I can do the holy pilgrimage of this holy personality. The Imam replied by saying, I meant the holy grave of Ma'asuma Yaqum. And then the story goes further on by saying you cannot visit the grave of Fatima Zahra because her will said, I don't want anyone to know the location because of the
at the time.
Yes, because of the oppression. So what this tells us is that you visiting the shrine of Ma'asuma Yaqum is the same as visiting the grave of the hidden and great personality of Lady Fatima Zahra. I can mention a few more merits, like Imam Sadiq saying, a lady from my children by the name of Fatima will be buried in Qum. Whoever visits her shrine will go to heaven. Then he reiterates by saying, whoever visits her shrine will go to heaven. Imam Raza himself said, visiting her shrine is as though you visit me. And he says that when you visit my shrine after you do ghusl, like physically cleaning yourself, it is as though all your sins have been wiped away and you are cleansed, sinly cleansed. You have no sins, and it's as though you are born from your mother straight away.
MashaAllah.
Hasant.
That is obviously beautiful, and
it's amazing, isn't it?
That makes you understand the importance of Ma'asuma Yaqum, because as you said, it's as if you're visiting the shrine and the grave of Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayhi. So that just tells you. And I've got a few quotes here from Imam Raza, and it says here, on the day of resurrection, I will save whoever has made a pilgrimage to me at 3 levels: at the scale of Mizan, at the bridge, Sirat, and when he is given the record of his deeds and came for help in grave. So that just shows you again the importance of visiting shrines, because people just say ziyarah is not important, and
well, it brings back the emotion to you. I mean, if you neglect yourself from the shrines, when you see, like, I've never been to Iran, unfortunately.
Inshallah, Allah visit with us, inshallah.
But even though I've been to Iraq, alhamdulillah, and like when you go to the shrine there, it's like a different feeling. The smell, everything there is just different. So when you go back to places like these, you just remember everything. Everything comes like in emotion, in a form of emotion.
as there's a lot of poetry that says when you leave the shrines, is that you left them there, but they're still in your hearts.
Yeah.
And that's so true, because whenever you come home from ziyarah, as you two might know, you feel like you're missing something. The daily visit to the shrine, the daily, you see the graves daily as well. All this is overwhelming, and obviously you want to keep visiting again. Inshallah, we'll visit soon as well, and may Allah grant a pilgrimage for everyone.
All of us, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, I've had the opportunity to visit the shrines of Ma'asuma Yaqum, Imam Raza, both the Iranian shrine, not the Iranian shrines, the shrines in Iran, and as well I've been to Iraq to visit the shrine of Imam Ali and Imam Hussein or Hadi Abbas, all these several personalities. And just like you yourself said, you can't compare them. They say Karbala is on this level and this level. Obviously they have their, on paper they might have different levels, but they're all in a way they're feeling the same. You can't say one is better than the other, because you want to visit all of them all at the same time. So you go to Karbala, and the only thing you can say is they all are just amazing, but on different levels. Going to Karbala is, seeing Imam Hussein, the person who was killed in Karbala, and then going to Ma'asuma Yaqum, who only lived 26 years and had experienced so much in her life. It says that when she, in 201 AH, when she wanted to visit her brother Imam Raza alayhi salam to Khurasan to help him preach the message of Islam and help him in his cause of the Imams, when she went to travel and she set off, she was attacked in Suva. Her caravan was attacked. Forgive me for my pronunciation, but I think that's how it's pronounced, because obviously in English it's very difficult to see the pronunciation. And she herself saw close family members of her killed in front of her, which the book, the life of Ma'asuma Yaqum, which I was reading today, said that it is though you could relate her to the lady Zainab, that her calamities were the same, and that's how we can learn from Ma'asuma Yaqum.
Just to remind the viewers that you can call in at any time to give your opinion or give your feedback, or maybe even share your experience if you've ever been to the shrines or anything like that, or you can even read out your poems if you so wish as well.
Even if it's just a few words, you know, just call in.
You can just call in and just read out your
Participate.
poems. And Brother Jafar, I remember, like, obviously all us three are from different backgrounds. For example, you're Iraqi and he's Pakistani and I'm Indian. And if you go to the shrine, all of us is like, it's like
It's one united.
It's one united feeling. All of you feel the same as any other people. You
It's
see
like
people from different backgrounds, from Africa, from the Arab countries, from Asia, anywhere.
From all across the world, they're just going to visit the imams.
Yeah, and that just shows you the importance, how the shrines bring you closer and bring you like together. And obviously Islam is about peace and unity as well. So that shows you how important they play the role. The shrines and
what's it called? It exemplifies the message of Islam, how it's developed across the years, 1400 years. I mean, Islam is still, I don't know, second most common religion in the world. I think
But
it's
the
Christianity
first fastest growing religion.
Yeah. So it just shows how beautiful it is.
Yeah, and obviously though, you can look at the media, how they're portraying Islam and how Islam really is. I mean, for example, last week we were talking about the letter from Ayatollah Khamenei.
Yeah, we couldn't get onto that yet, but there's been a letter that has been released. I mean, in general, Ayatollahs such as Sayyid Sistani, Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Recently, Sayyid Ali Khamenei released a letter. If you want, you can go read it about to the youth. I can't remember all of it, but it was just to the youth.
And I believe part of the letter said, do you learn the Quran yourself or do you get taught by the media? And because I think it's clearly trying to say that the media representation of Islam is completely different to the actual religion of Islam. And you have to understand that you have to study it as a youth, and not only get overwhelmed by the media and believe everything the media says, because obviously the media can be very different to where it is in reality, as we all know. I mean, all the propaganda talk and everything. So you have to understand like what the religion is.
Just get the religion, derive it from its original sources.
And one way you can do that is to visit the shrines. Obviously, when you visit the shrine, you understand like the peace and serenity you feel in the atmosphere as well, don't you, Brother Zayn?
It's the kickstart, in life. Like we say, Muharram and Ramadan. Obviously, for other school of thoughts, Ramadan is the main one. But for us, we have Muharram and specific days like Fatimiyya, which give us the kickstart to increase. And I was going to say, like these personalities that we have, such as Hazrat Abbas and Lady Masuma Yaqum and Lady Zainab, they weren't infallibles. There's two types of infallibility, which is isma. And there's one, infallibility from errors, which means making mistakes, and infallibility from sins. Now the Imams and the Masums, the 14 Masumeens, they were infallible from errors. They wouldn't make even a mistake. But Hazrat Abbas, Lady Masuma Yaqum, Lady Zainab, they were infallibles of the type of the second one. They would never sin in their life. And we can reach that stage, that near infallibility. We can reach a stage that where we don't do any sins or anything. And this is what it does when we go to Masuma Yaqum, when we go to visit the shrine of Imam Hussein, because it's not next to us. When we do visit them, we think not only twice but 3 or 4 times, is this going to benefit me? Can I survive without it?
And it links into what we were talking about last week about taqwa, piety, to become a pious person, to think about what you're doing, if Allah agrees with it, before, while you're doing it, and after. It's just like a mind process, how to keep Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your mind every time you do something. I was going to say about the shrines, like you said, it was a kickstart for a lot of people who say that these guys are prophets, imams, infallibles and all that. We can't be like them. Just try to take the first step. Try to become a pious person. If it works, definitely, if you're dedicated, then it will work. Inshallah. And then take the second step.
And obviously, as you said, it's a kickstart. And when I was young, and wasn't very much religion, wasn't very much into religion. And when I went to the shrine for the first time in 2008, that really got me into the religion, made me want to study more and whatnot, just learn about the religion of Islam as well.
Similarly, when I went in 2009, I visited the shrine of Masum Maqam, Imam Raza, the Masjid of Jamkaran. You can list so many from Iran. And then I went to Syria and visited the holy personality of Lady Zainab. Similar to yourself, WAFIQ, and I'm pretty sure Jafar will agree as well when he visited the shrines. We all had a difference in our life, and I visited the shrine of Imam Hussein and Imam Ali and Hidayat Abbas recently, as well as other personalities. recently, and you can see the difference. And even with our friends, you know, I don't want to name a few, because if I name a few, then others will be like, why did you not name me? So our friends who went to on Arba'in, we can see the difference in them, and the way they talk, the things they say, because they're not only thinking once or twice, but they've changed their thinking pattern, they changed their soul.
Yeah, okay. It's just like Ramadan. It's just like a whole process you go through, and then after it's just taking the process after it finishes, like Muharram. After it finishes.
MashaAllah. And yeah, of course, it's time for the break now, and inshallah after the break is going to be some poems from Brother Zaykam and from me as well. So inshallah join us, and you can share your poems as well after the break. So inshallah join us after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.